Hi, I'm Liliana. Welcome to MentorcliQ's Mentoring Soundbites, where we answer some of the most common and important questions professionals just like you ask about starting, managing, and growing their mentoring programs. In this video, mentoring program experts in multiple industries, including biotechnology, energy, banking, real estate, and healthcare, offer up exciting and actionable tips to help you better engage your mentoring program's participants. We hope you find this video helpful. Be sure to like and subscribe for more mentoring best practices like this.
We did a bit of training with both mentors and mentees ahead of time, and we sent them additional resources and just made ourselves available. With the executive mentees, we only took an hour of their time to kind of go through what our overall goals were, to reorient them to putting themselves in the mindset of a mentee rather than a mentor, and to provide them with those helpful cues and steps on how to engage thoughtfully, mindfully, and compassionately in these conversations. And a lot of that, I will say, kind of just went back to emotional intelligence and listening and just being open to being vulnerable and leading with trust.
What we did, it was to create some different itineraries of learning content for a more experienced mentor or for a less experienced mentor. So we can provide specific content considering the level that they are. And for the mentees, what we will do, because we start the second edition, it is exactly to map with each mentee, what are their needs considering their project regarding training, and then we will provide a specific solution for them. Depending the moment of the program that make more sense. Maybe it is in the beginning of the program, it's better to take this training. Maybe we'll be in the second phase of the project that make more sense. So with the mentee, we'll work even more close to understand their needs, to make sure that they have all the resources that they will need to achieve the results of the project.
And for those that are unsure about being a great mentor, I think there's a lot of expectations when it comes to being a mentor. I reassure them because we provide training, we provide support, we provide guidance. So those who may be unsure about being a mentor, they can feel certain that when they apply, they will have the support that they need.
It's that prepare phase. So a little bit about the prepare phase is this the right time for me? Is this the right time for me to be a mentee? Is this the right time for me to be a mentor? And we have put in some documents for people, for some questions that they can ask themselves before they even engage. So whether it's an organic mentoring relationship or a relationship where it's going to be more programmatic, how do I need to prepare for this relationship? What are some goals I need to be thinking about? What are going to be some things that are development opportunities for me? What do I want to seek out of this relationship? Then there's this agree phase. And that agree phase is a little bit what all of us talked about. I'm going to agree to come to meetings. I'm going to agree to bring my authentic self. I'm going to agree to keep things confidential, and we're going to discuss what confidentiality means. So it's prepare, agree, and then cultivate. Cultivate is the longest phase. That's where you're digging in, right? That's where you're finding what the person's aspirations and goals and just all of the things that you're supposed to be exploring or should be exploring during a mentoring relationship. And then that last phase is that transition phase. To make it a little less weird, we put in some things to actually be able to have some discussions of how do I now transition this relationship from a formal mentoring relationship. Now that may not mean that I may still have conversation with that person, but now that formal obligation is over. So I want to be able to transition that conversation or the engagement, the relationship.
The program is built in 4 components. My goal, my plan, my actions, and my network. And each component of the journey allows people to dive into those areas. And there are different resources and supports in place to actually help them get to that end goal, which is usually them wanting to secure, another internal role with the company. I think one of the big benefits of this program and building functional expertise is a large majority of our candidates that enroll into the program, and the program's open every year and you re-register, is that, a lot of them are in our call centers or our solution centers, and they're very removed in a lot of cases from the corporate experience, and they don't get a chance to develop their business acumen that they would if you were in a corporate role or in more of an operations role. So we give them the opportunities to focus on what those steps are in order to get to where they want to go in their career, but also then the mentor program is one of the options that we provide to them so that they can build their KSAs, their knowledge, skills, and abilities, not only from a career focus area, but also from competencies, things like leadership, communication, conflict resolution, teamwork. We know collaboration is a huge focus for a lot of companies right now. So getting that exposure is a really big part of helping them grow and develop for the next step.
They were really thankful to get engaged up front. Ultimately the program is for them. They're our customer. So we wanted to get them engaged to make sure we had their feedback and input in the design process. So I would say that they were very instrumental in helping us decide which competencies we wanted to agree upon with respect to what people would sign up for, either to be mentored in or to be an expert or a resource for. So I think that was one of the biggest contributions that they provided, and it really provided them a feeling of ownership. Of course, we didn't have everybody in our program participate on the project team. We had a subset representative sample, but overall they felt ownership in it. They were thankful to be asked to be a part of it, and I think we got a better product from engaging them in the design early on, because there were some things that they highlighted that we ought to focus on that maybe we wouldn't have thought of. So our initial thought was that the onboarding mentoring may be around that 6-month duration. We found based upon just a tail off in the conversations that 3 months is probably about that right window or time frame for that relationship. And then we thought, well, our folks may be in an assignment for 2 to 3 years, so why don't we start with that being the mentoring relationship length for our field and our functional mentors as well. And as we started working through that process and as we designed the program, we were getting feedback that some of our folks thought that might be a little bit too long. And so based upon some other projects that were already launched and the feedback that they were providing, we decided to cap those other 2 relationships for the functional and the field at 1 year each. And then we also another factor that came into play was that it also increases the exposure of people to others if we stop those relationships at 1 year, or formally stop them at 1 year, and then get them connected with another mentor after that. So they just get exposure to more people, they expand their network at a faster rate. So and we're not seeing any tail off in value thus far from making that decision based upon feedback.
We really love it when we see the leaders of others aware of the mentoring program that we have available, either the one-on-one or the circles that we offer. And we always really enjoy it when the leaders practice the encouragement by example, when they can share with their groups how they've been involved in mentoring as a mentee or a mentor, being willing to lead a mentoring circle for us, and really just share their own personal experiences is hugely helpful to the success of really building that culture of career development. And really, just everyone at Goodyear, and I can't stress this enough, of how important we think this is when it comes to high impact at a low cost for the development and engagement of our associates.
Folks at our office love the quick clicks. They love recording the hours and their commitment to the program. Last year, we were able to log over 7,000 hours in the system. And I think the feedback, because there's a little box on there that you can check, that feedback can be shared. And I think that folks love even giving that feedback to the administrator, as well as we collect the feedback and provide it to the mentors as well. So I think that's been really helpful. And it's been a way that employees have been encouraged as well and to continue the program.
What engagement strategies have worked in your mentoring programs? Let us know in the comments below. Engagement is what helps build a strong mentoring culture, both within your existing programs and across your organization. Light that fire, and there's no telling what kind of exciting growth you will see. For even more mentoring tips, check out the links below the video or visit us at MentorcliQ.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get updated on mentoring best practices like this.